Hey everyone, it's Nelson Miller here with SurelyWP. We make add-ons for SureCart. One of our add-ons is Toolkit. And one of the features that I personally find the most useful for me on all of the stores that I'm using SureCart is the admin column customizer. Now this is in our Toolkit add-on. It's something that you only be able to do with that add-on, of course. It's not in SureCart, but it allows you to hide columns you don't want, like in the orders table or the products table. You can rename the labels that are there, and there's even some items that you can add that are extra. We have 5 of those so far. So let's take a look at all of this. And by the way, when you're on the Toolkit product page, go ahead and click the full details. That'll take you over to this page, and it's going to give you, the integration details. And just, I really like to go down through the settings. When I make a plugin like this, it's not about telling you like, hey, you're gonna save tons of time or save money or whatever, like the keywords. I'm showing you what it actually does. And I like that approach, and I hope you do too. You can determine the value. But I will say that this is the first thing I do, and I could show you on my other sites. Like I went in and like literally did the same settings for all of them, but I'll get to it. So let's dive into an actual website. So maybe the first thing we should do is look at the orders table as it is now. Order, status, fulfillment, shipping, method, integrations, total, type, date, services. Those are your columns. Now services is added by our other plugin, so you can ignore that. But these are the columns that you get by default. There's no way to customize these. There's no way to add, anything else. In fact, I don't even know what product was purchased. That's one of the things you can add with this feature. I don't do shipping, so I don't really need fulfillment or shipping. I'm not doing integrations. Yeah, for that, that's probably what I want to hide. I could rename maybe some of these to maybe be more clear to what I would understand. So with that in mind, we'll go to the settings. In fact, actually, let's go to the products also. Here's the product table, name, price, commission amount. Again, if you're not doing affiliates, you don't need that. Quantity, integrations, collections, product page status kind of, and if it's featured or not. So, okay. Finally, we'll go to settings. Go to Toolkit in the menu there, SurelyWP, then go to Toolkit. We have a dedicated admin columns. All right, now here's where you notice the order columns and product columns. Those are 2 separate things. So I'm going to enable it, and I'm going to work on order columns first. Now, these that are listed here are the ones that are they're just available and they're in that same order. We can't change the order at this point. If that becomes available, we'll add that. But you can see like the ones that are available to add, like the product name or subscription type or trial, recovery status, invoice. These are added by our plugin. You can reorder those if you want, okay? Now, I guess we'll start at the beginning. You can change the label. So this is order number. So maybe I want to actually say order number. So when I say this is order number, I'm calling it, that's what the field is, whereas the label is what they're using, if that makes sense. So sometimes there is that difference. Now, I don't think I want fulfillment status, so I'm just going to turn that off, right? I'm not doing shipping on this site, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm not doing integrations, I'm turning that off. Probably the rest of that. I want product name to be on. I definitely want to see that. That's very important. Subscription type. Now that is really cool because are they making payments? Are they on a payment plan, or is it just like a yearly subscription? So I have a bunch of people doing payment plans, but I was never able to tell if they were or not. And I don't know, you like to know that. So that's what that is for. Trial. I also have one of my websites is offering free trials. I forget which of my products, WP Inbox Connect. And I didn't know, like, people would be signing up. Actually, I'm trying to remember if WP Site Launcher has trials. Phew, it's been a busy week, so I can't even think straight. But anyway, let's say it does. I didn't know if someone was on a trial or not. Like, is it that critical? I guess not, but like, I kind of want to see, when I see that order there, I want to know if they're on a trial. Recovery status, now that's referring to if they had an abandoned cart and then it was recovered, meaning they got your automated emails, maybe there was a coupon or something, and then they purchased. That's something that would show in the order details, but not in the order table. But you could turn that on. A lot of these on this demo site, they're not going to be here. Invoice is simply a button. You probably don't need that. I don't know. It's a button to view download the invoice. So I'm going to save changes. Okay, so we're cramming a lot in here. You can see here I changed the order number. Remember it said it was just order, or was it whatever it was? I put number there, I guess. Status, maybe I want to say order status. Maybe method, maybe I would have preferred to say payment method. You can see that I have the product name now, which is really nice, because otherwise I wouldn't even know what they bought. Invoice, that opens up the invoice screen like that. It'd be the same as if you went into the order and clicked on. Now, these were not showing. Let me see if I can find any screenshots here. Here's one over on the product page. So installments is showing the subscription type. You can see that example of an installment. So if someone had purchased an installment plan method, then that would show there. This person is trialing. Okay, very handy to know. Okay, this person's on a trial. There's their total was 0. That makes sense now because they're trialing. The recovery status. Hey, I know that this person spent $50 and it recovered it. That's awesome. I would have lost that $50 otherwise. So yeah, the product names are here. Some of the columns are hidden. Really nice. Same exact thing for the products table. So you'd want to come back in here, click that tab, enable that, and then the same thing again. We have an extra feature here for showing the image. Keep that enabled. I don't want this. I'm not doing commissions, so I don't want that. I don't have integrations. I don't even necessarily have collections. I'll leave that on. Product page published status. I don't really care. And featured product. If you're not using that, I don't know. Let's save those changes. And look at this, much more clean. Again, this was that image I could hide if I wanted to, but the name, price, quantity, collections, featured, and date. I don't need those other things that I'm not using. It just cleans it up. Now, are these critical things that you absolutely need? No. That's why we put them in our add-on. That's why we make add-ons like this for those who want a feature like this, like me. And it's the first thing I do when I install the plugin. I went through and did all the things. And I went through and did it on like 3 or 4 different websites. That's why we like providing these things. There are some things that are outside the scope of SureCart, or that doesn't have it yet, or whatever the situation may be. That's okay. The fact is, we are providing things, and we have a lot of tools in that toolkit add-on, and our other 7 add-ons as well. So I hope you enjoy it. Of course, you can go check it out, or send us an email with any new feature ideas. All right, we'll see you in the next one.